So let's move into quick hits for some quick cash, and we're going to switch it up a little bit today and get more macro than drilling down to specific stocks. Now, gold yesterday in play, that was slammed down 50 points into the open. So let's take a look at GLD.
Okay, we're going to look at GLD, and we've done this basically every day for the last couple of weeks as there's just been a lot of volatility here. I have said in the past, over the last 2 weeks that I've been doing this with both you and Alex in the morning call, the risk trade is on here. Gold is not safe. Gold is a place that is a little bit extended. There's a lot of chatter going on. Everybody's looking at gold every single day. When that happens, it's usually it's more of a trading vehicle for short-term players than it is safe haven for investment. Obviously, with the market weakness, we've seen gold peak at highs, but we saw an interesting setup here. Gold retested the highs here at 185, made fractionally a new high, and a day later got sliced. So be very, very careful if you're stepping into the gold arena for anything other than short-term pops and drops.
Let's move into FXF, the Swiss Franc ETF. The Swiss National Bank, basically they're pegging it to the euro now. It got crushed yesterday. Could be an interesting entry point for people looking to get in around 115-ish.
Well, big sell-off in the FXF. Back to 115 from 140. This is a weekly chart, so we get a bigger picture here. A little bit of a rising trend line down here. I think you could be a buyer if we could see a little more selling, maybe down to the 110 area. I'd step in and nibble for a tier 1 long. So
now the Australian dollar, this isn't something that we talk about as much. We don't talk about FX typically, but Goldman Sachs put out a very interesting research note that they expect the unsustainable nature of China's growth to continue. Mm-hmm. Now, 74% of Australia's exports, merchandise exports, are tied to China. So this could be an interesting play.
Yeah, I think this one looks a little healthier in terms of a trade, which is really the way I think. We do have some resistance at 110. You can see we made a high. That high was retested and sold off pretty aggressively. You can see the volume here come up substantially on the sell-off. So definitely an outflow of capital here. A little bit of a snapback, but not impulsive. I'd be a little careful here if we can take out the 110. Even though we'd be paying up a little bit, probably would see better tradable action, better, play the breakout is basically what I'm saying. Right.
So moving into JJG, this is a commodity ETF, much like DBA. We love the ag names. We've spoken about Cat, Deere, DuPont. We've made calls with the options profits videos, and here, this trades on the commodity sub-index. We love the actual underlying story here because of the way the crop reports have been.
Well, we talked about DBA, what, a few
last Thursday,
ago? Yeah. I think this is a great looking chart. I think it looks like it wants to go higher. Again, this is a weekly, so we get a larger perspective of what's going on here. Nice rally from mid-2010, basically into January of 2011, and a nice, healthy consolidation of base that's been built. And we are flirting with breaking out over here above this, mini downtrend line. I like this stock right here, right now.
Okay, let's round it out with USO, the energy ETF. Oil was above $89 yesterday for the October contract.
Mm-hmm. USO, oh, USO. I know a lot of people look at it. There's a lot of eyeballs here, but it just does not speak to me of something that wants to go higher. We saw the sell-off in 2008. Again, we're looking at macro charts here, a little bit longer of a time period than maybe we usually do. Just to get an overall perspective, not a big snapback. The stock is flirting with breaking. I think if it looks like it wants to take out that $30 level, and we could easily see a retest to those 2008, early 2009 lows here. So even if we go down a time frame and we look at the shorter term, which is the daily, bear flagging here, not really something that speaks to me about higher prices. Day to day we could see some, ups and downs and a little volatility here, but overall not a place that I'm looking for higher prices.
So for our macro quick hits, we're taking a look at GLD, which is something we pay attention to every day, FXF, FXA, JJG, the commodity sub-index, and rounding it out with USO, JJG being our favorite vehicle to trade for many reasons, including the underlying story.